It's day 7 of Veganuary. You made it through week 1. Woohoo! And it's Saturday, which means takeaways. Yay! And now you're a vegan, you may well be wondering, what on earth can I have? Well, the good news is it's not as bad as you think. Having takeaways or eating out as a vegan really isn't that bad. I'm going to focus on takeaways today because that is the kind of thing that we like to do on a Saturday night. When you're chilling out, you just want to pick up the phone and say, right, I'm going to order a curry. Woohoo! Okay. Vegan takeaways. There are a few things to remember, but generally you won't trip up too much. It's pretty safe as long as you know what you can have. Okay, let's start with pizza. Pizza is one of my favourites. I just eat it without cheese. As long as you talk to the company and make sure that their base is vegan, the pastry on the base, very often it is, find out and just give them a quick ring, check, look on their website. The bigger companies actually say if it's suitable for vegans or not, because a lot of people have dairy allergies anyway, so they're used to fielding those kinds of questions. And as long as it is, then you can have all the veggie toppings you want and just have no cheese. Some of them, very few as yet, do actually offer vegan cheese on top of a pizza. If you're a new vegan, that might actually not be very enjoyable because at this point your taste buds haven't really moved along very far and it's going to taste weird. You might not enjoy the texture. Personally, I enjoy my pizza without any kind of cheese, without any kind of vegan cheese at all. That's my preference now. I might get them to give me like a barbecue base where they literally just put a bit of barbecue sauce on the base of the pizza. And as far as dips go, you have to be a little bit careful as well. You can't have that cream and chive dip anymore. The barbecue sauces are usually safe. Double check, of course, or get your own sauces in and keep them at home. My cupboard is full of condiments and sauces that I know I can have. When it comes to sauces for pizza, because I'm a Brit, I really like salad cream on my pizza. Salad cream is not usually vegan. I get a free from version of the salad cream, which is actually available for about £1 from Tesco, so it's quite affordable. So it's a good idea to stock up on sauces so you don't get caught out at the last minute when your takeaway arrives. Next, if you're going for an Indian or a curry, that's usually quite easy to do as well. Indians, curry houses are usually very accommodating for any kind of special needs. You just ask them what you need and say, I can't have dairy. You know, a lot of them are vegetarians anyway. They may be Hindu, you know. They come from, very often the people who run Indian takeaways are from India. You know, it's a very multicultural society. They're aware that some people eat some things and don't eat others, so they're really quite cool with it. Just look for vegetable dishes. Be careful of anything with cream or yogurt, so stay away from the kormas and the pasandas and the masala, you know, the tikka masala sauces. You've got to be a little bit careful. As a general rule, a basic vegetable curry is fine. Usually the vegetable side dishes are fine, like the Bombay potatoes, sagaloo, which is potato and spinach, or gobi aloo saag, you know, with all the different mixed vegetables, and the aubergine one, what's that, brinjal bhaji. Onion bhajis may be okay as well, but just double check that they're not going to put any kind of dairy or eggs in there, and they will tell you. Be careful of naan bread because that usually has ghee on top, which is clarified butter. So if you're going to order a naan bread, ask them to make it with a vegetable fat, or just leave it off your menu altogether. Generally, I have really good experiences with curries. It's a really, really easy way to get a really good vegan takeaway, and you'll probably have leftovers. Next, we've got the sort of Chinese and Thai takeaway options. These are usually really easy for vegans when you look at the sauces, because they tend not to have dairy in their sauces anyway. A lot of Asians are actually lactose intolerant, so my guess is that's why it doesn't seem to be in a lot of the sauces. So usually safe for things like sweet and sour sauce, kung po sauce, you know, the basic standard, if you like, takeaway sauces that you see on the menus in Great Britain. I can't talk about other countries, obviously I've never been. So I really like the peanut sauce or cashew sauce or something like that. So again, do just double check, is there any dairy in this? That's usually where you'll trip up. You'll be surprised actually, things like spring rolls are safe. They don't actually put any eggs or anything in those usually. So if you have something like vegetable spring rolls, that's pretty safe. I will normally have like sweet and sour vegetables with tofu, which is very nice, and boiled rice. Obviously don't get caught out and order the egg fried rice out of habit, because you won't be able to eat it, it's got eggs. Equally with the prawn crackers that arrive, you can't usually eat those because they do usually contain some sort of element of fish or prawns in there. So be a little bit cautious when you're about to crack open that bag of free prawn crackers that came with your dinner, because you probably can't eat them. Yeah, I mean, as a general rule, it's very easy to eat Chinese, Thai sort of takeaways. When I've been to like the Thai restaurants, there's a wonderful chain called Ko Thai Tapas. We have a couple of them in this area in Bournemouth. And when I went to the Bournemouth one, they were wonderful. As soon as I said I was vegan, a waitress came over and she showed me everything on the menu that I could have, and she went through it with me in great detail to make sure I wasn't left out and I didn't feel deprived in any way, and she got me everything I could possibly want, which was wonderful. So it's very easy to do curries and Indian, you know, it's very easy to eat Chinese and Thai, pizza. There's ways around it, you know. If you're going to have, well, if you're going to a fish and chip shop, that is a little bit problematic, because very often, apart from the fact you can't have the fish, I usually end up having chips and a pickled onion because very often that's all I can have, because there may be eggs in the batter, so, you know, the pineapple fritters out or the pea fritters out. And do be careful of the curry sauce as well, because that can have dairy in it again, so sometimes it's best to make your own, or maybe just sort of avoid the chip shops anyway. Sometimes I'm happy with just chips, but sometimes it's a bit boring. You know, chips and a pickled onion, it's not very exciting when it's your dinner. You know, you're going to want something a little bit more substantial than that. But as a general rule, takeaways really aren't that hard for vegans. There's always something you can find, always something you can have. So don't worry. Check your menus. Remember to ask the person that answers the phone, or if you go into their takeaway, ask, and very soon you will know exactly what you can have, and you'll get into your into your habits of what you order, and you'll know what's safe and what isn't. So enjoy your takeaway tonight if you're having one. I'm probably going to have one. I'm probably going to have pizza without cheese, which is my favourite. I just have a vegetarian pizza without cheese, and I add extra pineapple because that's my thing. I'm a bit fruity. So please do enjoy your takeaways. Don't think that they're off the menu now that you're vegan, because they are most certainly not, as long as you know what you're doing.